Okay, so the title says My New Brother. Can you give me a prediction real quick? What do you think it's going to be about?
A girl's brother.
Girl's brother? Okay, cool. All right, would you start reading? Okay, from the very top.
Okay.
Okay.
My new brother. My mother was having a baby, and we were delighted. We did not know when the baby would arrive, but we knew it would be very soon. Only then one night, my mother woke us up and said it was time. She said that she was leaving the hospital and that our aunt would take care of us. In the meantime, I wanted to go to the hospital too, but my mother said I would go later. The next morning, my aunt told me, "You have a new brother." I was so excited, and I wanted to see him immediately. Unfortunately, my aunt said, "You can't go to the hospital because you are too young." But I really wanted to see the baby, and I missed my mother greatly. My mother called me what is that word?
Frequently?
Frequently
Okay.
on the telephone since she stayed in the hospital for a few days. We chatted on the phone. Mother said she was feeling well and that she would be home relatively soon. She also informed me that the nurse had taken extra care of her during her stay. The next day I went to the hospital because it was time to bring my brother back home. When we got there, I noticed she was in a wheelchair, and I instantly thought there was something wrong. "Are you sick?" I asked. The nurse said no. She is just being careful. When parents leave the hospital, they leave in a wheelchair to assure
Good job.
that they are safe. My mother thanked the nurse. She told her that she and the baby would be back the following week to meet with the doctor. We would take good care of my new brother and visit the hospital to make sure he remained healthy.
Nice job. Excellent. All right, so let's just you write down who's the main character of this story.
I don't know the name of him.
Okay, so if we don't know the name, what can we just write down? Do you think, is this person older or younger?
Older.
Just older? How old do you think this person is?
My age?
So maybe your age? Okay. And so right now, maybe let's just kind of, I'm going to come back and ask you another question about this. So right now we just know that it's a narrator, right? So right now we could probably just, because we don't know if it's a boy or a girl, right? They didn't give us any clues. Maybe just write down narrator, and then we can add something later once we kind of get to the problem and see if we can kind of see, because how old are you again? How old are you?
12.
12. Okay, so let's see if our narrator is your age or maybe older or younger. Okay? All right, so what did the character want to do?
See his new brother.
Okay, cool. Want to write that down? And who else did the narrator want to see? Anyone else?
Mom.
The mom, yeah, good. Nice job. All right, so what was the problem?
She couldn't, or
Why?
he couldn't,
Why?
because they wouldn't let her or
Why?
him.
Okay, let's keep going. Why?
Because
Let's go back. Do you mind if we go back in the text and look for text evidence real quick? Okay. So let's kind of go back in the text and see, because we've got the
she's
beginning
too
of the
young.
problem. Because where is it?
Too young.
Can you underline it in the text? Excellent. Okay. So the problem is the narrator, we'll just say, or the main character, can't go where?
Hospital.
Because he or she is
Too young.
too young. Nice job. So now that we have the problem, a little bit more of the problem, let's go back and fill out the main character.
Okay.
So do you think the main character is younger or older or your age?
Younger.
Probably younger, right? Because could you go to the hospital? I mean, if, let's say someone got sick or someone had a baby, could you go and visit somebody?
No.
No, you don't think so? Let's say you went with some, like, if someone was going to drive you. Could you go? You probably could. Probably just the whole driving, right? Probably getting there. So yeah, so you might want to say someone that's, could be a young boy or girl, right? How did they try to solve the problem?
They called each other
Okay, so they called each other. And why, how did that help solve the problem?
because they could chat and talk about.
Okay, so they can chat and talk. And usually if you get to talk to someone, you're not, you don't miss them as much, right? Yeah, good. And what was the resolution? This last one.
They came back, or he or she saw the mom and the baby.
Where did they see him?
The hospital.
Okay, so who do you think, did it say who brought him to the
The
hospital?
mom. Oh wait, no.
No?
Oh, the aunt.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, so the aunt was able to bring him there. Nice. All right, I'm going to hear some of the other guys, okay? Read. So I want you to write your summary. Sound good? Because then afterwards you're going to share it. Nice job. All right. I want you to read to me. So did you like the story about the cloud? Cool. All right. Ooh, before we read, why do you underline things in there?
Because it's the part of the story that shows that it is the lesson you can learn.
Nice, excellent. Okay. If you want to read, let me find real quick. How about right in the middle? This one where it says, "But suddenly." Could you read that out loud?
But suddenly, as she floated down, she remembered something that had been told to her when she was a tiny cloud child. In the lap of her mother, Ocean. It had been whispered that if the clouds go too near the earth, they die. When she remembered this, she held herself from sinking and swayed here and there on the breeze. Thinking, at last she stood quiet, still, and spoke boldly and proudly. She said, "Men of earth, I will help you, come what may."
Good, excellent. Can I just see real quick? So